Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Your Vibes Podcast. Everybody's got a vibe and a story to tell. Here's this one. I hope you enjoy. This episode is brought to you by Sassy Pop Boutique. Sassy Pop is a women's clothing and accessory boutique located inside Mulberry Mill in Dixon, Tennessee. Sassy Pop's fashion professionals help their clients find the right style and fit for all body types and sizes. Whether you are an extra small or a 3XL, Sassy Pop Boutique will have you looking your best for all 4 seasons. Check them out on Facebook at Sassy Pop Boutique and on Instagram at Sassy Pop Boutique Dixon, or browse their website for 24-hour shopping and shipping anywhere in the United States at sassypopboutique.com. And I think, what's great to me is this has always been a pedestal that I've kind of taken in a soapbox, and as well as a lot of other people in town have too, is that there's just been a lack of youth activities in Dixon.
Absolutely.
Period. I mean, and that's why you see kind of these drug issues happen and just kind of hoodlum type people and and then the bowling alley has always been here, but it was a little rough. And then the new owners came in and did something with that. And the skateboarders have been around. They've just kind of been around the downtown area and where they found best places to skate around. But now, we're, getting to where we can kind of localize that and bring everybody together on that aspect of it. And I mean, you're playing a huge role in that. I mean, what is it about? I mean, what drives you with the kids? Is it the 12 that you've got at your house?
Well, I mean, I think that's, before even all this happened, most of the kids were at our house anyways. They're at the skate shop, and I love the fact that I want to do things that I did. I'm still a big kid.
Sure.
Things that my parents didn't do when I was growing up. I would have loved. They let us have ramps, of course. My dad gave us skill saws and jigsaws at age 11 and 10.
Safe.
Yeah, his friends were like, your 11-year-old and 10-year-olds got skills. It's like they can use them better than I can.
Wow.
So we were always building ramps at a young age, but we didn't let us build one in the living room.
Right.
So that's what I look at. Almost like, man, I would love for my parents to have owned a skate shop, or my dad to set up skate sessions and just stuff like that. And like I said, we really started the skate shop honestly, it was for a monetary thing. And the kids, I just didn't see it. It just became extra. And
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I like making money and I like paying my bills. But at this point, it's the kids. I'm starting to just really see the impact it's having on all of them. And feel like a lot of these kids, that have the problems, don't have mentors at home. They don't have dads or don't have or either. They don't have anyone to look up to, anyone to tell them, stop doing that or I'll slap you.
Sure. Yeah.
And these kids, that's how it is. It's weird. It's
too.
It's like Godfather, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm like, don't do that. And they're like, yes, sir, we're sorry. You know what I mean? And simple things like, having them help pick up trash, or if some old lady needs help moving something, or they're I'm like, hey guys, y'all want to jump in and help? Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, they're there. They don't mind to help. You know what I mean? And a cop one time was like, how'd you get the kids to pick up trash on Main Street? I said, I asked them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay.
Dick to them.
Yeah, I just said, okay. And now, even my son was telling me that a cop pulled up to Holland. They're not supposed to skate at Holland, but they do because it rains. It's undercover. And the one cop got out and was like, if I do a kickflip, you guys got to leave. He got out and did a kickflip. Full police gear. And so I was like, that is just rad. That wouldn't have happened before. You know what I mean? It's another one pulls up, they throw their boards in the bush, and he's like, no, if you guys all do kickflips, you can stay. So it's kind of cool how it's
symbiotic.
Yeah, they're really understanding that these aren't, I think a lot of the problems, a detective came to me and who said something about, some kids spray painting or buildings around town. He's like, I'm not saying these are skateboarders. I just know you see a lot of kids. Do you recognize these kids? And I was like, I don't. Sorry. But it's cool that they're not going, these damn skateboarders.
Immediately. Yeah.
It's they're realizing, and it was such a stigmata when we were growing up. If you had a skateboard in your hand, you were a criminal.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it don't matter. And throw you in a car or arrest you, take you home, keep your board. What if you were a skateboarder? You were just.
Ugh.
kind of like snowboarders for a long time too.
Sure.
Same thing. If they didn't even allow snowboarding on most mountains when it first, for years and years when it first came out, it was a
Wow.
nuisance. It was, and now it's so just like skateboarding, part of the Olympics, and
Yep.
everyone's like, wow, this is really cool. This is gnarly. These guys are athletes, and they're realizing that it's not what they thought it was.
Right.
It's like anything,
Anything that's new. People, like you said,
Yep.
people are scared of what they don't know.
And you're still. I mean, not saying every one of these skateboarders are perfect. You're still gonna have the rotten apples. There's just nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? But it's
That's every walk of life, though.
Yep.
I mean, even in the church community.
Yep, it is.
You're gonna have the nasty folk in there.
Absolutely.
Not everybody's perfect.
I think that's why Ranger Sherry involved us so much and let us help pick the park and felt like we were part of it. She said so we can police our own park.
Well,
And then I already seen Devin and his friends, the older boys. Someone's doing something stupid. They're like, nah, dude, get out of here with that shit.
yeah,
So they're already handling it.
that's awesome. So how was it working with the city on that? Were they pretty, welcoming to the idea?
Yeah, oh, very much so.
Okay.
Like, I mean, there's, I guess you have your haters in town on all of it too, but still, the city was all for it. There was rumors flying around forever that it was going to be over at Hensley, and now the city was like, now it's going right downtown. That's where it's
Cool.
zoned for. That's where it's going to be. We feel like that's where it's going to serve the best, and it's true. I mean, like, it's what a lot of the people, for the haters out there,
Yeah, right.
those skateboarders are going to get hungry and they're going to get thirsty. Mm-hmm. And the mothers are going to drop the little ones off and let them skate, and they're going to go shop around every business downtown.
Absolutely.
It's going to be nothing but revenue from it.
Yep. Yeah, and they've got a place to hang out. I mean that's their own dedicated space with plenty of room, and it's right there next to the fire department. So if somebody does get terribly injured for some reason, you got a bunch of EMTs just right there. They can run out the
Those
door.
dudes are looking forward to it too.
I bet
They're excited.
they're gonna have a show out their door. Every day.
The fire chief come up to me. He was like, I was on my one wheel, and he said, "Hey man, I'm thinking about giving me one of those." I was like, "You should."
Yeah, do it.
There's a lot of us. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we're all doing it. Yeah, there's a lot of us.
We got a clan going. It's
I can't wait to start that. Justin was the reason I got one. And from the moment I got one, about 3 days later, I was like, I gotta get an XR. And then after that, I was like, we need to ride with some people. I want to have like a night ride, like a 4 or 5 mile ride somewhere, and just find a good spot to go. I've ridden pretty much everywhere I can downtown. I've ridden all the way to Hensley. I've ridden pretty much all the way to Ticey Springs, and then all those side streets. I ride around my neighborhood quite a bit. But that's pretty much it. I want to find where do you go?
pretty much I'll ride around, like you
Just
said, downtown and
yeah.
stuff. I haven't been over to Hensley yet. I'd like to go over there and check that one out too.
Go around the trails.
The old golf cart trails.
Yeah.
And
Do they care if we do that?
I don't know yet, but I did hear somebody mention talking about trying to get a bike. Don't quote me on this. A bike trail or a bike lane or something.
Okay.
That goes from Hensley over to Luther Lake, connecting all of it at some point.
Okay.
And that makes sense. That would be great if they had
Wow,
something like that,
yeah.
And it's kind of.
Okay.
And there's the big things happening at Hensley, anyways. Coming up with all the.
And they're going to try to connect a walking trail from there too.
That's what
to the downtown area.
That's what I think that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that too, and I was like, man, when I heard the false rumors of the skate park maybe going over in Hensley, I was like, well, even if the skate park doesn't go there, with that big splash pad,
Yeah.
they need a sky bridge right there.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I mean, it would look aesthetically pleasing. You don't have to worry about kids crossing the road. Or
Clarksville's got
yeah.
one.
Yeah, almost the major cities do, and seems like to me that would be the way to go instead of even with stoplights, you still risk somebody running a red light and not seeing too many kids crossing, and it would just make it accessible. It would just make it absolutely accessible to the kids.
People would use it more,
Absolutely.
because you can enjoy your time downtown, and any city planner, and community developer will tell you that walkability within city limits is huge.
It absolutely.
From home to commercial to green space, if you can connect all of those, it's you've got a good setup.
It'll get there eventually. I think it will. I mean, they're just kind of. I think a lot of it, dude, is that people like our age are finally starting to take seat in offices and own businesses downtown. It's the forward thinkers. You know what I mean? That's kind of pushing the town into the future, and that's what I'm just trying to help with, like, doing some things that I think Dixon needs and they don't know it yet.
You just took my life phrase out of my mouth there. I was watching. Oh, you've got kids. Have you seen the not new anymore, but the Peter Rabbit movie, like the non-animated version?
Oh no, I have not seen that one yet.
Oh my god, it's
check that one
so
out.
funny. James Corden is the voice of Peter Rabbit.
I love that dude.
He's so funny. But I don't remember one of the main human characters who is Mr. McGregor's nephew. Mr. McGregor dies, and the nephew works at a toy store. And inherits his uncle's house. So he goes out there to sell it and build his own toy store is his dream. Well, there's a girl there that he meets and eventually falls in love with. Spoiler alert. But she asks him, they're at a picnic, and she asks him a question like, what do you love the most, besides being OCD and organized, because he is that he said, I love giving people what they want, even though they don't know they want it.
Yep. And and
that hit me. I was like, this is Peter Rabbit speaking truth here, you know what I mean? And that hit me too. I've never really been able to kind of put my finger on it, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's the same thing that a lot of people are trying to do, and with trivia, like, it wasn't, there was one at the Mexican restaurant, that was slam packed and crowded, and it was a different thing, and bingo, same thing as well too, and just the networking group, just little shit, just around, like, people, they need something. A lot of people can't put their finger on it. And so, like you said, just try something. And if it works, it works. Just same thing. Like, if trivia just falls to shit, whatever, I mean, it's not going to, but I'm not going to be, I hope to God it's not, because, I mean, we put our ass off to it, but, like, we'll adjust. Or, the networking group or whatever it may be, people stop coming, you kind of adjust, but you don't, too many people get attached to the end goal. Yeah. And they've got this idea, but it's all in kind of who you become along the way, the failures that you experience, the people you meet. Yeah, and even if you don't nothing's ever finished. Cause
enjoy the journey. I mean, it's the journey's.
That's it. That's all life is. Because nothing's ever finished. As soon as you reach a goal, there's another one. There's something else. There's always more.
Oh, yeah. There's always another project.
Always another project.
Me and my wife know that very well.
Thanks again to Sassy Pop Boutique for sponsoring this episode. If you are looking for the right fit and style for this upcoming season, feel free to reach out to their fashion professionals on their socials at Sassy Pop Boutique on Facebook and Sassy Pop Boutique Dixon on Instagram, or head on over to their website at sassypopboutique.com for 24-hour shopping and nationwide shipping. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode, please reach out to me directly via email at yourvibespodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening, and always remember, stay vibey, my friends.